I'm Carla, or Letty, or Lady Do, whatever you fancy. Right. So my first panic attack was when I was 15. Yeah, I had just turned 15. I was walking back the long way, as I called it, so I walked past the train station. But I decided to cut through the train station, and then my other friend went the other way. And I cut through the train station, and I was just about to go down the wooden stairs, not that one, but there was wooden stairs going down. And I was walking down, and I completely froze. I literally couldn't move. Oh, sorry. I couldn't move. My heart started pounding. Like I just froze on the spot. Like no idea what I was doing. There was people like looking at me like, "You gonna carry on walking?" Or and I couldn't get down the stairs. Could not get down the stairs because one of the stairs, if you walked a bit further, was where it all happened. And I started feeling sick. I got really sweaty, and I couldn't breathe. I was just like, I can't do it. I don't know why. I walked past that route a million times, and that was it. It just set me off. I had to go all the way back up to the top of the stairs. I felt like a complete idiot. I felt like this big. I could not walk down these stairs to get past that point, which was the route home for me every single day, and that was the start of everything. Like after that, I walked a completely different route. I never went cut through the train station. I went up the steps anymore. I walked around. Yeah, no, it was hard. So the way I started dealing with things, I started to get anxious and feel like people were staring at me all the time because I had like started picking my skin by this point, and I'll do a whole video on that. But I did start to picking my skin at this point, and so I started to become very, very conscious of people looking at me. I'd be like, "What's on me? What's on my face? What's wrong with me? Can I see my scars? Are my legs on show? What like?" I didn't know how to cope with it, and the way I kind of deal with anxiety, which wasn't healthy or anything like that, I would make sure my makeup was done, I made sure my hair was done, I made my eyelashes were done, I made sure my nails were done, so that I gave off the appearance that I was absolutely fine and I was okay, because people go on appearance. So if I walked into school and I had no makeup on, I didn't do my hair, my eyes were all red and puffy, everybody would be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, clearly that's affected you a lot. But I didn't. Everything was done, had my hair done, makeup done, everything, and that's just the way I coped. Obviously, after the speakmans, they helped me a lot with the post-traumatic stress, so I stopped having nightmares. I call myself a popular loner because going to my friends, it's like just this overwhelming amount of anxiety because there's people in the room, and that's judgment to me. And everything just led on and spiraled out of control into the fact that when I was on my own, I wanted to be with people. When I was with people, I wanted to be on my own. And that is obviously not like the norm. So I found myself getting very anxious, so I'd build myself up. I'd get nervous, so I'd get really shaky. I'd have to know exactly what I was doing before I did it. So if I was going to go and get a drink from a shop, I would have to know what exact drink, how much it costs before I got there, and if they didn't have that drink, I wouldn't buy anything, or chocolate or whatever it was, because the anxiety of getting to that till and someone staring at me whilst I count out, or I didn't have enough, or I had I just couldn't deal with that scenario. So I had to know before I did anything exactly what was happening. Otherwise, my anxiety would get out of hand. So I started to learn to think in my head what I'm doing for that day, what I've got to do for that day. And I'm not an organised person, so that's really, really, really peculiar for me to. Apologies. Anxiety, it was spiraling to. I'd get these extreme. My panic attacks got worse, so I would go to school, act like everything's absolutely fine, see some people, things that might affect me in some kind of way, and I'd get home, and that was it. I'd either have an argument with my mum for no reason. I'd argue with my sister. Anything could just set me off. Like someone could have said, like, "Oh, your shoes are green." I would have just gone, "Bloop." That was it, explode, because it was a completely different thing at home. At school, in public, I'm a completely different person, where I have to be, everyone needs to think that I'm okay. But then when I get home, it was like, shut my door, like, don't talk to me. So I go to my room. One of my other coping mechanisms was music. I like to sing. I'm not sure if I'm very good at it, but I like to. It calms me. Music in general calms me. So I would play some the main ones that got me through that time would have been the Alicia Keys album. I don't know what it's called now. Alicia Keys, As I Am, that album on repeat. And Pink, Pink was another one I used to listen to a hell of a lot of old school reggae. Also, I was a very big Motown fan, so Temptations, favourite. Very loud, so my thoughts can process. So it would be really loud, so I couldn't process anything. I'd write, which is another good one. I'd write anything, whatever's coming to my mind, I'd just write it down. It wasn't a diary, it was. I just wrote down my thoughts on that piece of paper, everything. And that was a coping mechanism for me. So overall, the way I kind of dealt with the developed from panic attacks to anxiety to full-on depression and thoughts. So I dissected it. I made sure that everything I needed to do was, I knew what I was doing before I did it, or scenarios. I changed my route home from school. I would shut myself in my room so that I didn't interact with people, so that I wouldn't argue, I wouldn't lose my temper, I wouldn't be cray-cray. And then I would obviously play a lot of loud music, a lot of singing, and my main one was dancing. Just play really, really loud music, and I'd just dance. No, I did train, but no in particular dance. Like, there was no, I'm going to go in there and do contemporary, or I'm going to go in there and do ballet. I'd go in there, whatever music I wanted to listen to, whether it was spoke to me at the time or I just wanted to move to, I would put on. And that helped me in a massive way. And I carried on my dancing, so I wasn't as angry when I fell into more dancing. I trained with Italian Conti Associates in Reigate, and everyone was really supportive and never asked too many questions, just let me get on with myself. And on to like audition for the Brit School. And all that helped me through that. Obviously, the school put me in counsellors. Brit School put me in counsellors. Nothing was really working. I went to do hypnotherapy, everything in this period of time, and nothing. It just wasn't helping. But that release of singing and dancing, I would recommend it. Even if you can't sing, just sing. Like, just get on your space. I know it's when you think people can't hear you. That's what I'm like with singing, is when I think people can hear me, I'll sing like this. But when people can't hear me, I think I'm Whitney. No. So they are my coping mechanisms until I met the speakmans. And I'm not a doctor, I am not a counsellor, I am not anything trained. I'm speaking from experience on how I handle things, and they are not all good ways to handle something, but it's what helped me. You're suffering and you watch these videos looking for someone that's on that level, not someone that, because that's what I used to hate about counsellors. They'd sit there and they'd go, you talking, and like, yeah, and you think, why am I talking to you? And then you start talking to them a little bit, start opening up a little bit, and they'll look at you like this. And then you're like, okay, and then they'll go, so it's nearly time to finish our session, and I go, and the thing about the speakmans is they have experienced things themselves, and that's why I think, even though I've been to a million counsellors, I couldn't relate to the speakmans. Genuinely had experienced things themselves. So it's all from different, but counsellors are amazing people. At the time, I was in the right mind frame for it. So, singing, dancing, music, writing, setting goals. Always give yourself things to look forward to, things to achieve, more goals, and achieving them goals. So when I was really, really low, or someone had really upset me or anything like that, I'd be like, right, focus on it. Because if I focus on that, then I'm not focusing on what anyone else is doing. If I am able to achieve it, I'm not going to focus on what anybody else is doing. So I'd achieve is one of the other things that would really, really, really helped me. Just live for something. Because if you're not living for something and you don't have enough self-worth, you're just going to spiral out of control. Live for yourself if you can, and then if you can't, live for something that you love to do. I'm Carla, or Letty, or Lady, whatever you fancy.